Well, I think it's less extraordinary than people are portraying it as. I'm genuinely not that surprised. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised to be surprised at the moment. So I don't think an awful lot actually changes. I think we've seen the market reaction in sterling, which is unsurprising. So sterling is probably the biggest asset price move. So it's moderately weak. It's been down about 2%.
Sure.
Realistically, do Brexit negotiations change? I'm not sure they do, because the Europeans are a constant.
But Eric, Mrs May was after a mandate so that she could go very firmly with parliamentary backing, with a strong Conservative majority backing into those negotiations. Now she's going to have to be watching her back all the time, because she doesn't even know if the Tories are behind her, let alone the rest of Parliament. Surely we're talking about a different kind of Brexit now.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but what I would say is very clear again, is the political class, or the mainstream of the political class, completely misreading the population. Right? The Tory party are obsessed with Brexit. What this tells you is the population isn't obsessed with Brexit. And I think also the mainstream of the Labour Party is misreading the population, because what Corbyn tells you is actually the public is more open to a broader set of policies than the political elite are. So I think this is again a big failing of mainstream politicians who have their pet obsessions, which are actually not what concerns people out there.
As we've seen in many elections over the years, for many politicians going back decades, winning an election over Europe is a very, very difficult thing to do. And you're obviously drawing on history there. But what about domestic policy? What about British assets, gilts, FTSE 250 companies? Because let's face it, the ability to get austerity policies through, to get balanced budgets by the early 2020s and that, surely that's in tatters now, because you've just said that the British public are after different things now.
I think the public's more right than the political elite. I mean, balanced budget is a ridiculous pursuit when you've got negative real interest rates. I mean, there is no budget constraint. Look at where gilt yields are. We've got 10-year gilts at 1%. There is no constraint.
But you're not worried about an explosion of debt?
Absolutely not. I mean, I think it's much more likely that you get a kind of status quo persisting, because actually nobody has a mandate here. And I think the public doesn't buy a lot of the things that the political class are obsessed with. The public doesn't really buy austerity. The public doesn't really buy an obsession with Europe. And frankly, I think the public are right on those issues. And I think markets, I suspect, will surprise people at how relatively calm they are. We'll get some volatility today, but I'm not expecting anything like a panic in the gilt market. Interest rates aren't going anywhere. Inflation isn't going anywhere. The FTSE corporate profitability actually isn't going to change that much.